Uy. Hindi kaya ng buhay ko.
Kipre ako muna. Scout ako dito.
Sige.
Ito na tayo end eh.
Ang liit ah. Eh?
Oo.
Yung pababa siguro meron pa.
Pababaan eh.
Oo. Liit naman na ito.
Frostworm. Okay. Baka ito yung Emerwood ba yun?
Imirwood?
Oo. Ito ba yun?
Hindi yata.
Baka itong malaki. Try ko nga.
Nakita ko nasa Mistland yata yun, pre.
Sa Mistland ba?
Oo. Fred, may tumitira sa atin.
Ano pa rin baba tayo?
Try natin. Sagad natin doon. Diretso.
Dito? Sige.
Oo, tara. Ay, shit. Yo, 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 may nagmamagic. Nakita mo yun? Ano yun?
Okay. Saan? Ayun yun. Sa gilid. Grig. Kaya yung sinasabi niya, no?
Grig.
Oh, pala Grig yung pangalan.
Grig talaga? Eh?
Oo, ayun o.
Saan? Hindi kasi nagpakita sa akin eh.
Ito. Tama. Grig.
Oh.
Ano to?
Oo nga no. Demonyo. Patayin mo nga yung ano na yan. Kampon. Makunat,
sakit.
makunat. Pre, takbo, takbo.
Pare ko nga. Kaya ba?
Physical ba yan?
Oh, physical.
Patay ka.
Ang drop na ito.
Wait, ano to? Wala naman.
Wala naman. Labang wolf
Gaging
dito.
yan. Nakatakot naman yung mag-i-spawn dito eh, no? Madilim.
Demonyo eh.
Demonyo ang puta.
Oh, malit rin yung ano dito eh. Yung mountain. Ano men?
Tara, tara.
Let's go.
Ay gago yun nga nagte-teleport pre.
Yung ano?
Yung Grig. Dalawa sila. Sa likod
Dito?
natin. Oo. Ayun o, yun na
Matakot
pre.
naman
Yun na
yun.
pre.
Ano yun?
Nagte-teleport.
Matakot rin.
Gagi,
Sige.
ang bilis. Pre, tul.
Okay, okay.
Ingat.
Nice, nice. Ano drop?
Yun pa, may metrol. Pre, sa likod.
Uy.
Malaking shield yan.
Yun, na-stun.
Uy! Nai-stun. Nice. Kailangan din natin yung leather nito. Hide pala.
May Greg pa.
Dalawa yun eh. Di siguro na-agro yung isa.
Scary yung butch.
Curse naman itong Black Forest na to.
Dito lahat ng ano no? Maligno.
Oo. Uy!
72.
Sarap pa. Puta.
Ulat ako dun Nice.
Wala talagang loots.
Walang loot pa.
Wala.
Grieghorn. Ba't
Horn
natin
lang.
pinupulot yun?
Ang gagawin natin dun?
May recipe. Lahat yan men. May
Anong
gamit.
recipe pre?
Hindi ko pa makita. Walang crafting.
Oh, sige.
Saan nakita ni Daryl yun? So siya yung tatakbo.
Yung mo sa kanya. Di natin nakita yung dati ah.
Oo. Naglipot pa tayo ng copper dito.
Kaya nga eh. Daming deer oh.
Kailangan natin yan.
Kaya nga eh.
Pero wala lang space. Saan tayo? Kaya pumunta dito.
Saan saan?
Sa left tayo.
Gusto mo lakarin?
Nakaharip. May ano? Troll? Kita mo?
Asan?
Sa harap.
Wala akong makita men. Saan banda? Ayun pala,
Harap.
nagbabantay sa dungeon. Yung mark ko, oo. No, 1 star. Supply naman to. Naku po, ang puno. Okay. Ayos pala siya pre, pamputol ng puno.
Kaya ka.
Dami niyang kahoy. Ano ba, baba muna natin siya ship.
Tara.
Tara. Ilipad ako.
Troll cave pala to eh.
Okay. Naubos yung wood na naman. Opo. Para saan to, pre?
Yun.
Adze. Ano tong Adze?
Ano kasi?
Ito, yung nilagay mo.
Saan?
To. Yung kahoy na to.
Ha? Ano lang yan? Pang-upgrade ulit.
Pang-upgrade. Kala ko kung ano eh. Nakapatong dun eh.
Ano mo? So, papuntahin natin dito yung barko. Sige po.
Saan? Sarado yata to, hindi ba? To?
Sarado ba?
Or pwede naman dito, pre. Nakita mo yung ilog dito.
Kaya yan.
Delikado ba? Hindi
Oo.
kaya.
Stuck tayo dyan.
Hindi natin malilipad to. Try ko nga, atras ko lang.
Wait.
Sana may daan dun. Parang nakita ko wala eh. Yan lang natin. Update mo rin dun, pre, ah. Kung napapagana mo.
Saan?
Yung cartography ba yun?
Ah,
Oo, masikip pala. Tatry ko sana eh. May mga bato po.
ayaw mo.
Hindi kaya. Ikot.
Grabe, ano na yun? Ano? Sabog naman na ito.
Ano yun? Alon?
Oh, taas na alo. No? Napasok yung barko.
Tingin nga.
No. Hindi mo pala na-experience kasi nasa taas kayo.
Oo, parati ako nasa taas eh.
Lakas wind, pinapasok yung...
Ayos pala dito mag-chill. Oh. Sarap.
Baka kaya natin pumatay ng locks.
Lock.
Oo.
Tinry ko sampalin yun, pre. Parang bakal yung tunog. Tigas eh. Pagdasal mo pre, may daan dun. Dito banda.
Ay, paano ba yun? Park ba yun? Ano hindi? Pakonect ka pala yun, no?
Oo nga eh. Baka pa-connecta to lahat. Yung silver kaya pre, kaya na bang ano yun, gumera sa plains?
Oo, yun yung next eh.
Silver set?
Hmm.
Nice. Naku po, mukhang sarado. Sana hindi.
Yun. Naku, mukhang...
Hindi siguro. Parang wala akong makita oh. Parang daanan siya pre.
Wala. Man.
Oo, wala.
Wala. Kukuha mo ng coffee.
Gege.
May elder buff ka?
Bone mass.
Sige. Pa-recall ba ako?
Plastic eh. Okay na.
Wait lang. Sa labas ako nag-spawn.
Ay.
Naguts na. Tama.
Ano men? Mina ba to? May malaking ano. Barnacles.
Low, low, low.
Low. Men, gusto mo minahin to? Dito sa kaliwa.
Maybe. Yun lang. No. Dilim ako.
Wait lang, skip ko lang yung time.
Kailangan na i-read yung mga ano natin. Natin mag-farm ng resin.
Wala nang resin?
Maubusan tayo.
Ah. Man, gusto mo matry yung balista?
Sige pre, pakita ko sa akin.
Try nga natin dito. Ay, walang missile. Ano ba yan? Bulokis naman to.
Hindi ako pa i-load.
Oo.
Alt diesel.
Walang kwenta. Basurang ano to.
Bagal ako. Skip mo out pre.
Hip
800.
800. O yan. Diretso na tayo ulit. Sagad nga natin to sa dulo. Parang gusto ko makita yung dulo na itong map eh. Uy, gagi ka.
Ayaw masira.
Hindi ko pa si... Buisit. Hindi pala natatanggal yun. Ay, buisit naman oh. Nasira tuloy. Layo na natin.
Ikaw ang Christmas tree.
Christmas tree? Saan?
Baba.
Tara. Dito? Meron bang Christmas tree dito?
Mas pa lang doon lalagay.
Uy, bumangga pala tayo. Ano yan?
Pre, atras mo.
Reverse.
Features coming to simulation nodes, and it's getting more comparisons to Houdini being called Houdini Lite. But how do they actually compare, and what's the future of simulation nodes at Blender?
Now, if you watch the Blender Studio channel at all, they oftentimes will give information about roadmaps, and we can take a look at simulation nodes and see that it is going to be getting some additional simulation physics access and also some simple one-click solutions, so you don't have to build everything from scratch in the future. How about Houdini? First of all, it's important to note that Houdini is a massive industry behemoth. It's used at places like Walt Disney Animation Studios, Pixar, DreamWorks, Double Negative, ILM, MPC, Framestore, Sony Pictures, Scanline Visual Effects, Method Studios, The Mill, and more. It is an absolute powerhouse for simulation. Visual effects play a large role in creative products, but they're time-consuming, render-intensive, and difficult to control. Dynamic Visual Effects Pack aims to solve all that. With over 25 visual effects assets, you can drag and drop into your scene with easy-to-use exposed controls, annotated graphs to help you learn and customize further, and the best part is nearly everything renders super fast in either Eevee or Cycles. Let's dive in and take a look at how some of these can help save you time. So what exactly makes Houdini so special? Well, first of all, it's completely node-based. You can access anything within the software via a node-based system. Whereas in Blender, you're limited to certain aspects that Geometry Nodes has control over. Houdini pretty much gives you control over everything. Likewise, aspects of Houdini are not as separated. So Blender, we have a very defined modeling section, grease pencil section, video editing
Pasko na.
section. In
Gitna nga natin.
Houdini, everything is very much
Kasi
more
di malagay
tied
sa akin.
together and accessible within one another. Now,
Yung
when
malagay na ano,
looking at
hindi
all
naka-
the different
hindi pasko.
operators and things that make up
Oo
Houdini,
nga
they
eh.
have surface operators, meaning they have
Kailangan
a much
pasko.
more viable procedural modeling system. They're able to manipulate particle systems. They have channel operators, which are kind of like attributes, and they work with procedural animation, but also can help with audio manipulation. They have
Tulog.
compositing operators, dynamic operators for their simulations,
Nyari.
with
They
fluid,
have-
cloth, rigid body, and more.
Hey.
They have shading operators that can represent a dozen or more different
Instant.
shading types for several different renderers. You have render operators for building networks to represent different render passes. They have VOPs, which are Vex operators, where you can actually build custom nodes. You can either do this via nodes or via scripting. Then they have lighting operators, where you can access the lighting information and control all of that. Now, it's worth noting, too, that they have many different solvers for certain dynamics. So they're known for their incredibly powerful dynamic systems that can be controlled via nodes and tied into varying systems. What does this mean? It means that they have rigid body dynamics, fluid dynamics, wire dynamics, cloth simulation, crowd simulation, fire simulation, and some of their things like Cloud and Pyro are actually full-blown VDB simulators as well. Not only do they have all these simulations, but they're incredibly high-end and highly optimized for performance, and likewise they also have multiple options. So they may have multiple different ways, just like Blender has 2 different fluid sims built in. They can have multiple different ways to simulate for each one that might be better depending on your situation. Now, when it comes to things like render engines, it comes packaged with 2, Matra and Karma, but Karma is their new render engine, which is a USD path tracing based render engine. But how does Geometry Nodes compare? Well, of course, we have a lack of simulations in comparison. We do have simulations in Blender, but they're not all accessible in Geometry Nodes. With the new simulation nodes, we're looking to change that. However, currently, if you wanted to build full sims, you'd have to do it from scratch rather than calling on those existing simulations. It's also worth noting that the simulations in Blender, albeit that are very good, are still not as good as the ones packaged with Blender, are still not as good as the ones packaged with Houdini. We also have notably less flexibility in Blender, and why is that? That's because we have lack of access to different portions of the program. So for example, you could actually take a fire simulation and plug that into a particle system inside of Houdini, meaning that you
Ano bangga?
basically have no limits when it comes to
Ay,
how you
babangga na.
combine elements
Opo,
to
baka
create
madurog yung
whatever
barko
type
natin.
of effect you're looking for. Houdini also comes with a lot of pre-built systems, so when it comes to Geometry Nodes,
May
you're
anchor
gonna
na ba
be
dyan,
building
pre?
a lot of things from scratch, and this is something that, as we mentioned before, the developers are looking
Saan ba
to
pwede
change
ilagay
in
yun?
Blender.
Magbubutas
As it
ba tayo?
currently stands, you pretty much have to build everything from
Sa
scratch,
gilid lang rin, parang
whereas
yung
Houdini
dati.
will come with node packages that
sige.
can actually do some of these things in presets.
Lagay ko na lang
And of course,
sa harap.
one of the most important elements is speed. Houdini is much faster for these type of calculations.
May daan kaya dito? Saan mo gusto, pre? Kaliwa, kanan?
Part of Blender, whereas Houdini is entirely
Kanan.
based around this system, and thus it has a specific render engine dedicated to these graphs, and you can even compile these graphs and run operations much quicker. But don't let this discourage you. Geometry Nodes is still a very powerful tool with a lot of features that can really get you a lot of unique results, and especially if you're creative, you can create some really interesting animations and also some really intelligent systems to make your scenes move faster and a bit more procedurally. Let's talk about which one's right for you. Should you aim for Houdini or should you aim for Blender? Well, it depends on what your goals are. Which one's a bit more beginner friendly? Now, I reached out to a couple of my visual effects artist friends who work in large
Pala eh.
studios that work with big brands like Nike, and they use both Houdini and Blender depending on what the
Okay,
project
natin.
calls for at the time. And I asked them which one's more beginner friendly, what did they recommend, and for who. And here's what I can tell you. Blender and Houdini, in terms of learning how to do the systems, it's a pretty similar learning curve in terms of learning each one. But why you might want to consider Blender is if you're not currently looking for incredibly deep simulations and you're looking to use it for more beginner level or entry level type node-based systems, you should really stick with Blender because it's going to do everything you need. Geometry Nodes does have a lot of depth and possibilities. However, if you're serious about getting into simulations, you want to seek out a visual effects role in the industry, you might want to consider looking into something more like Houdini. What if you're unsure? What if you're just learning and getting started? Well, maybe start out with Blender because Blender is free. It's a great introduction into procedural node-based systems. And if you decide that that's really clicking with you and something that you want to dive deeper into, then go check out Houdini. And as I said, most of my friends that work within the visual effects artist industry use both. And they switch between each software depending on what they need. They switch between Houdini, Cinema 4D, Maya, and also Blender. It's 2023 and add-ons are coming out all the time for Blender. It's hard to keep up, so I've gone ahead and Blender 4.
Ano to? Grabe naman yun. Nilagay mo to. Regalo. Naglagay niyan. Pwede palang storage yan eh.
Bumanggap.
Saan to? Please.
Skip tayo mga 800. 800.
Yes.
Wait lang. Skip.
Without asking, okay.
Okay na.
Here's an actual social cue take. Okay. I'm not gonna reach out for this game. I've had a good amount of times where I've seen a girl that was I had like her titty out entirely almost, and there's a way to do it. You have to be pretty socially active. Okay. So what you do, so you can make eye contact, right, and make sure you and then go like, and then point at it.
24x QCL
But
chats, fan
but
X
the
QCL.
risk with that strategy is that if you do that, right, but you don't get the good timing, it'll look like you're going like this and you're going, and then you're just staring at titties, which is really bad. Because what you want to do is that you want to point out at the fact that the titty's out, and it's like, yo, fix this, you know, so to help her out. It's like you know, to help them out. But if you fuck up the timing of it, you look like a weirdo. You get it, guys? It's a timing. It's all about the timing. Yeah, this is what to do it. This is what to do it. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not even general sentence and make it seems like it's like a good friend and you know. Man, he's like sleeping. Oh. Jesus! What is wrong with this guy? Ah, it's fake. Yo, don't do it to the cat! Why is she squishing it? Oh no. Chat, it's the octopus. That's classic. What? Oh my goodness. Oh my, what? They just watch it.
Wow.
Guys, what is that? The price is right?
This comment section's about crazy. This is Thomas Wetters, the man with the largest nose out of any human in history, at an insane 7.5 inches. For comparison, the
There's no
current
way.
record holder, Mehmet Ozurik, only has a 3.5-inch nose, half of Thomas's. Thomas was born in 1930 in England. Parents who might have been syphilis, which could have been the reason for his abnormally large nose. As a teenager, realizing that he was different from other people, he began to exhibit himself at freak shows, earning money when people came to see him. Although not much is known about his life, all the sources online seem to agree on just one thing, which is that he was not smart at all. The way these sites worded it too was
Guys,
just crazy.
guys,
Such a violation.
Guys, I actually did the size of my nose. It's quite good size. Look at this.
Hi chat.
Yeah.
I miss you XQCL.
What, man? What?
XQCL.
Guys, it's not big. Guys.
Shirt is fine.
Oh really? You like it? Bro, it was only $1,000. That shit is not.
Paano kung ganito kalaki yung alon? Diyan ko, pre.
XQCL.
Asan? Oo nga.
Napasok yung loob eh.
Oh no. Oh no, this guy just logged in. Hold on.
Ano ba to?
He's logging back out.
Hi.
Hey,
Yeah, they want Pokemon. Yeah,
yeah.
I got Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
Hey, hey.
THLX chat is too fast. Oh, THLX.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've been here for 29 months and never been
We
here.
better
Sad now, that's
yeah,
Chad,
they
that was
put
it.
on internet.
Chad, that was kind of chill.
Uh-huh.
You can get paid.
Chad, that was kind of fire.
Hey,
big love from Quebec
hey.
to Jill.
Pre, parikol. Ah.
Bakit nahulog ka? Mabilis pa masyado.
Yeah.
Tumalong ka, no?
Anxiety ever
Yes, yes,
thanks
yes,
to
yes,
the
yes,
dog
yes, yes,
feel
yo,
better,
dude.
eh?
Oo.
Make it record level, sign him.
Bilis ang...
Because as soon as it's gonna hit like 16, 17, then it's GG.
Welcome to the jungle. Helium PMS3. XQCL.
Wait, what? You have to walking her home so she's not scared.
Walang island dito.
You.
Here's the story, Chad. When I used to go to school, the bus would only get us so far because we lived in a farther away part of the
XC.
And this girl was, I'm not kidding, the hottest girl lived
Ashland tayo, pre, ah.
from my house.
Gika.
We had to walk from the corner all the way out. And it was
Malapit na
far.
tayo.
It's actually
Konting
one of the
tiis na lang.
And Chad, I was so scared talking with her. Okay?
Ito pre, island, oh.
All the way up to where we
Kaso ang dami na nating item, eh, no? Kailangan pa ba natin yan?
as soon as the bus would stop, there's a sidewalk.
You know.
I would split and would walk all
Huwag na, diretso na lang tayo.
one on each sidewalk.
Okay, diretso.
One on the left, one on the right, and we just walk all the way home, dude. And I never
Oh.
spoke a singular word to her ever. And I would dream at night about holding her hand, right? I would dream at night that I would talk with her and hold her hand on the way home, dude. And I never did. I never did. Isn't that so? Isn't it? Shit, man. That fucks me up, man. Think about it.
Abenados, sparkles in Havana. VIP my section, royalty looking set.
Shit, that's so cool, bro. That's stretch marks.
VIP my section, royalty looking set.
Roll out.
What the hell? Deep-fried feet? No. No. Oh my god, young man. Kill yourself! What the hell? Deep-fried feet? No. Oh my god, young man. Kill yourself!
Chat, is that the funniest fucking thought?
Fight. No. Tinry ko lang.
Chat, that beer is really funny too. Oh wow! Chat, what brand is that anyway? Who makes that? Oh, it's Jacob. Yeah, it's the guy who makes the fucking. Chat, is that the guy who makes the fucking like the Toy Story like a Bing Bing thingy? Like the big green box? Yeah, that's the one. Oh wow! Ooh. No way, right? Oh my god! No! No. That chat is definitely fake it. That's so fucking sick. No way! Oh my god!
Oh shit.
Chat, that is so cool! Chat, that is so cool! Because, chat, in life, it's always a diminishing return for things with physics.
Pero may ganito pala. Eh kaso kailangan ng Black Forge eh. Spiral Stair.
Scott, what do you think of Leia? Do you find her attractive?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, thank you.
That's nice.
I guess the question back.
I'm not physically attracted to you.
Aww.
Welcome to the button, speed dating show. When the button lights up red, either player may press it and swap out their date for a new person.
Get out of here.
If two people can last on a date for 10 minutes, they win an all expenses paid second date.
This is
Hi, I'm Isaiah.
Leanne, nice to meet you.
Ian.
Yo, hello?
It's really quick.
It's not a for question.
Okay, can we take a minute? Okay.
Why are you so nervous?
What the fuck was that?
Attraction nervous?
I feel like, you have any siblings?
Child raised by a single mother.
Okay.
Mom is my mom.
Okay.
She's my best friend. It's almost the type of like a love.
Oh my god, yeah, I saw that like a couple hours ago. Did you see the clip of the old dude whose knees exploded walking down the steps at a baseball game? This shit was so weird how it happened, yeah. Fuck, what did I even type in to find that again? Actually, I don't even know if I can show that on stream, so I'll just describe it, but basically, there's a guy in a baseball game and he's getting rowdy. Like, he's just yelling. I don't even know what he's yelling about, but he's like yelling, he's like pointing, and then he gets up and he's like storming out, he's leaving, he's had enough. And he's walking down the stairs, and his foot gets caught on like one of the stairs, so he like loses balance a bit, and he's falling forward, but he leans back. So what ends up happening is, he puts all of the weight on his knees, and he snaps back, and both of his knees blow up. Like, literally blow up. Like, his kneecaps get all fucking cattywampus. Everything gets rearranged there. And then he just crawls there. He just well, he doesn't crawl. He just stays there on all fours in pure fucking agony. After he just embarrassed himself by yelling and screaming or whatever with what happened on the field, and then that couldn't have been a worse series of events for him. Lawsuit? How it's entirely his fault. The stairs were totally up to code. He was so angry and seeing red that he forgot how to walk. So he just completely missed the step. His knees got vaporized. Show it? I mean, it's not bloody, there's no gore or anything, but his knees are really gnarly looking. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. Also, the tweet was a banger. It said something like, man just tore his ACL, MCL, BBL, CBS, NBC, and DVD. It was actually like a banger tweet. Oh, here it is. But yeah, this was a fucking disaster for him. It legitimately couldn't have been worse. Oh. Oh, jeepers, creepers, zoinks. Which one of you put that banana peel on the stairs? Yeah, so both knees got de-atomized there instantly after fucking making a fool of himself. The fold. Actually folded, yeah. Like some goddamn laundry. Zuckerberg and Musk fight's never happening. That's all just a bunch of hooey. What happened? These poor patellas. Oh, it's so much more than that. Everything that exists in the knee region on both of his legs ceased to exist at all at once. About Musk and Zuckerberg, you couldn't be more wrong. Zuckerberg is an actually very well-trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. He won a tournament recently, and it wasn't even a rigged tournament. There's footage of it. It was just a legitimate tournament for BJJ, and Zuckerberg is nasty. Like, he's actually a fucking menace at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Watch it again so I can give you watched like the finals of that tournament, that guy he was up against was actually going hard. Like legitimately going fucking hard. You can cope all you want. I don't like Zuckerberg. I fucking hate Zuckerberg. But I mean, he is good at BJJ. Like he is actually good. Like he's not top tier. He'd never be at like an actual competitive level, like professional. But he is good.
Eh pre, ayos to. Gagi. Ano to?
No, this is a banger tweet.
Wala.
Dude killed it on this tweet.
Wait lang nga. Hindi ko mapindot eh.
Ano yun? Anchor?
Retractable something. To. Extendable pre. Tingnan mo.
Bridge? Parang bridge?
Oo, tingnan mo. Ikaw magpindot.
Saan ba? Ano? E?
Oo, shift. E? Meron ba E?
Oh, E extend.
Rem.
Ayun.
Because he missed this step
Yeah,
right
ayaw.
here.
Ayaw.
He was so upset. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
storming out of the arena. So what happened is
Para saan yun?
his foot, his little tootsies
Tanga.
here, clipped
Ang
the
galing ko.
Mga bridge.
step underneath the one he was intending to
Oh,
step on.
extendable ramp daw, boarding
Went
ramp.
a little too far forward and panicked. And he was already so mad that he wasn't really
Ako po, misland na naman.
foreseeing, right?
Naku, babangga tayo.
It went so wrong.
Babangga.
Wait lang, wait lang. Shit. Tigil mo pre.
Babangga na.
We're ready for PT. PT won't solve this. He's
Too
gonna
late.
need surgery. And he'll never walk right again. That's going to require a very expensive set of surgical procedures. She's got a cake with looks like probably what it is, though. Show the generosity, man. Remember when Vince McMahon tore both of his quads getting into the ring? Yeah, that was iconic. But that wasn't nearly as bad as this. Dated the girl who tore her ACL and refused to get surgery for 6 months. You know what I find crazy? Tearing your ACL for a lot of athletes and really just for a lot of people is a debilitating, life-changing injury. Like it'll end your career in professional sports. Yet there are some people that.
Uy,
tore
may
their
port pala
ACL at
dito
some
eh.
point and
Kita mo?
didn't even realize it. There was. I don't remember. There was a football player who
Oh.
very high level.
Ayos.
football
Parang may...
player. Turns out tore his ACL.
Uy, may armor,
many,
gagi.
many years ago and didn't know it.
May
Because
armor
he
yung
was
lugar.
at a very high level.
Oh, may force field yung lugar. Pag tinira ko, lumalabas pa sa'yo.
Magic ano kasi. Magic.
Oo nga yun.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't get it. Reset rating.
Operate ko muna. Driving boy.
It says the Wolverine healing factor and doesn't know. Yes.
Ayos to, pre. Oh. Alipin. Sakay. Pwede ka ba sumakay dito?
Tinatry ko eh. Ayaw.
Dito. Iharap natin dito.
Yun, no?
Tara na! Sakupin na natin yung...
Ay.
Hindi ako. Tambay ko nga lang dito.
Ay, na-ashland na.
Ha? Saan? Wala naman? Ashland ba yan?
Sa harap. Parang. Dami
Parang
pre.
Mistland pa rin.
Hindi, Ashland ata. Ashland.
Grabe. Ganito pala yan.
I'll show you.
Show me your
You gotta
goblins
see my
right
goblins, man.
Alright, you pull up your goblins while I say hello to
Tayo.
everyone. Welcome to the
Ayun, no?
A to Z
Mountain pa sa
podcast.
gilid. Nice.
Asan? Yan?
I thought, you know, we might as
Oh.
well use the old names. Might as well use the old names since it's finally coming around.
Let
So
me
this
check.
is a current events and politics podcast run by artists Ahmed Al-Turi and Steven Zapata. No, this isn't anything. That's what this is, and this will be the only episode. So great,
Yeah.
fantastic.
A to Z. Yeah.
That's it. One episode of A to Z, legendary, complete. Who did you send it to?
Diretso
And
tayo.
The others left it.
Hold up. I'm looking. I'm watching my in-law's dog right now, getting into her bag, like her go bag, and stealing her food. She's swiping.
Layo na pala natin sa puno.
I gotta.
Yung malaking puno sa taas. Gagi, lagpas na tayo.
Oh, well, you're gonna edit this, aren't you?
Yun nga eh.
I don't know if he's gonna edit this. If he doesn't, that'd be kind of just leave it roll.
Hindi ko na alam paano i-decide tong boat na to.
Yeah, Steven's body. Yo, I sent some goblins to your Discord. There's way more than
Nabusa na ng creativity, no?
Discord goblins all week.
Oo.
Mention all we want to do is draw
Siyang hirap eh.
Huway nating
So this is
maangas,
a
pre.
segue into why
Bigyan mo
we're
ng
doing
tusok-tusok.
the one and only episode of the greatest podcast anyone has ever
Mistland pa rin to eh. Yun, oh.
Things have been a little bit dark around the arc.
Pero alam ko konting ano pa eh, konting usok.
It's been getting very serious, and sometimes you just
Naku
need
po,
to keep
parang walang daanan dito ah.
and remember that we're all just
Ayun,
trying
no,
to
doon
draw
nata
goblins.
pre, mga maliliit
So
na
that's
hill
what I
doon.
said
Ito ka
to
doon.
Med, and surprise,
Diretso
Try nga
surprise,
natin.
he's been drawing goblins.
Sige, sige. Dito, dito. Yan.
And these are very good goblins. Can I show these on the? Can I do a screen share and show you?
Wait, when you record this, how does you record the...
It just kind of goes. The way I look at it, it will record it that way. So right now it's like our heads two up, and when I do a screen share, it'll show the screen.
Because you're full screen.
I'm the
Ayos
host
to,
of
may
the
daanan na.
show. Usually, I'm pretty sure that's how it would usually work. Yeah, it's not going to be a great video experience, but I don't really care. I'm trying to keep this low pressure. I just want to focus on talking to my friend rather than having a super slick production value. Stop being concerned. You let me be concerned about that, and the level of concern is going to be zero.
That's all you. I'm just gonna kick back.
That's right, Matt. You just let me manage the whole flow of the episode, the amount of attention. So here we go. We got nice goblins for Matt. You see this? So this to me, this is a good omen. This shows that this is what we're supposed to be doing. That we are supposed to be doing the A to Z podcast. That we are supposed to be talking about drawing and being happy about it. And yeah, goblins. I mean, we all just want to draw that guys.
It's like beauty is cool and all, but look at their faces, man.
I'm so glad you grew up. I'm so glad you finally grew up.
I'm gonna take that as disrespect.
Now you're gonna go back to drawing nothing but girls, just to spite me.
Yeah. No, this is actually part of the video. I recorded a whole how to draw goblins. Let's go.
Is that a joke?
Tingin ko lalakarin to, pre.
Serious.
Okay, good.
In preparation for the next course, which is for fantasy illustration, but I figured I gotta learn these characters.
Fantasy illustration with Ahmed Al-Duri.
Never heard of.
No, please.
I
Do your
ruined-
dumb
I
bit.
ruined your monologue.
No, that's fine.
Ah, siyang nilagay mo.
How are we like this?
Yeah, blame Zoom. It's just it makes it impossible to not step all over each other, and that's fine. We just have to accept it.
Laki ang food.
Net-
May LED lights pa.
I've never heard of them. I've seen dragons and I've seen dungeons, but I've never actually seen them
Dragon boat.
combined in any serious capacity. They're beautiful. So
That's
we're
for the next course. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. Well, try to not bring up business on this podcast, all right? Because you look at it on this podcast, we are allergic to all things business related. All right, your business, my business. We got to get that stuff out of our heads. Just
Paalis
have
na
fun.
to eh.
Fun is compulsory. All right,
Try nga natin dito.
it's completely compulsory. You're forced into doing it. All right, now we're talking.
Card at the top.
Now stop. Stop.
This is you.
Okay.
You are this card.
Now I'm ready.
Oh.
Troll.
Aw, that does look like me.
This is the background.
Ako wag. Drop mo ako.
Lagay mo yung elder pre. Yung trophy na elder.
Let's play the game. I've never
Sarap.
played
Nasa akin. Oo. Maganda dito sa
Oh,
baba.
really? I've never
Astig
played
yun.
this. I don't actually understand anything about
Yan, dyan lang ikaw.
the
Sarap.
mechanics or anything like that.
Hindi, yung kanina. Yung nilagyan mo ng ulo.
Sige, sige, sige.
You have to tap.
Gagi men. Bakit ganito yung ano dito, kulay pula?
Speaking of confusing at first,
Anong
a
meron?
lot of people's sexual impulses are confusing, and I think that segues me naturally into something that I wanted to talk about in our design news section, which you of course knew about, which is that one of the main things we do on this podcast is that we're both designers, so we like to
Layo.
look at what's going on
Ay,
in
pumipit
design
ko pala.
news and discuss it, and maybe
Wala
give a
eh.
little bit of
Nakaharang tong mga maliliit.
analysis, right? I mean, this is
Island.
not a
Miss,
comment or
papuntang
anything,
Ashland, oh.
but we like to look at these
Okay, mga
things
yan.
in the news, see how design is relevant,
Miss.
how art is coming up,
Wala naman nakalagay.
Island.
and we break
Miss
it down,
Lance
and we
pala,
hope
Miss
that
Lance.
the audience will learn a little bit about art. while
Gagi
we
men,
do
kasya
it.
ba to?
So, I think it's pretty obvious what the first
Ako.
thing is
Siya
going
kaya
to be,
to?
just because it's
Di
so
pre.
relevant, right? I mean, this is what
Saan kaya pwede?
we're talking about.
Mahaba natin
in
ginawa yung barko.
art, it's what's bringing it out into the news in general. It's not just artists thinking about this stuff now, but there's stories about this stuff in the New York Times, in Forbes. It's like
Parang trap
and we all
naman
feel
dito.
different ways about it, right? But it would be irresponsible of us not to talk about it. So let's just
What are you talking about?
let's just talk about it. Let's talk about Heidi Klum's
Dito
worm
nga-
costume for Halloween. So, as we all know,
What the hell is that?
So, latest
This is a joke, right?
as we all know, Heidi Klum does an incredible Halloween costume every year when she goes to her big, rich, fancy. And this is her costume for this year.
It looks like bacon.
Workbenches, of course.
Okay, so see, there's our first critique, right? So that's Ahmed's critique. Now, Med,
This isn't a joke. This is for real. Her.
This
That's
is
Heidi Klum.
gear I'm
well,
wearing,
I mean,
actually,
you
that's
can ask
another
yourself as
thing
much
that I
as you
need to
want
point out.
if it's a
This
joke. But
is,
yes, that
part
is
of
Heidi Klum
a
in there,
mod
which
called Sid
I think
on
should be
Furry
obvious because that is what her body
game,
is
so
shaped
I'm
like.
not-
They just painted her
and
skin.
what I plan
So
on my
and
own
Heidi Klum is known for her perfectly cylindrical, unvariegated
absolutely
cross section, and they just
Naku, palayo na to eh.
some paintbrushes in there and did it. All right, so
Dito,
I'm
dito
gonna-
dapat to.
where I don't see it.
Naku pa rin, baka malaglag yung barko natin ito sa ano.
Ha? Dulo? Ay!
Eyeglass arms. Sid.
Hindi naman to dulo pre.
No, but that's not Heidi
Dito
Klum.
pa yung dulo.
That's Ariana Grande.
Baliktad.
Oh no, that's her.
looks cool.
C model as
Flat
well.
earthers pala nga to.
So I'm just gonna, okay, I'm gonna let you get your feelings in, but real quick, I just want to say how I feel about this.
How long have you wanted to talk about this? Since Halloween.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean,
I can
this
do
is
math.
this is the most important. All right, so okay, first off, it's one thing to be the worm, but to be the worm to be the worm on the hook with your, I'm guessing that's her partner. He's the fisherman, right? He's the guy who caught the worm.
Dude, no way.
And then she kind of squirms around on the ground.
How does she move? What?
I think there's like these little, you see these little weird things over here on the right. I think those are like feet pads, yeah, for her to walk. So it's one thing to be the worm, but to have the fisherman costume as the part 2, and for her to be a worm on a line, that's next level. That's pretty good. The other thing is, like I alluded to before we started discussing this, is that this is raw pornography right here. I mean, it's pretty rare.
Serpent pre,
to
serpent.
encounter
Sa baba.
your fetish out in the wild. But
Sa bandang...
it happens
Saan na
for
yun?
some of us sometimes.
Wala.
I mean, this is
Ayun
all
na
of
si
my
Lalo.
Lovecraftian dreams come true, you know? I mean,
To be fishing and
Skip
to
time.
no, I mean, yes.
Naririnig ko na.
It's not just that.
Nakita niya yung ulo pre.
It's
Nagalit.
Nga eh.
the possibility of a beautiful
Kasi nilagay dyan.
celebrity being transmogrified in some Kafkaesque fashion into a Lovecraftian monstrosity. And the leering grin and like the dead eyes and everything. I mean, it's really the whole existential package that makes it exciting.
May mga baani dito. Nice.
Okay, so now let's hear your input on the design. So obviously it's an A+ from me. I'm not sure what I'm not sure who made the costume. I think she's worked with Stan Winston before, but I
look at it?
Ano, araw?
I don't know if
Marami
Stan
dyan, pre.
Winston did this one.
Sa arrows.
But, if they did, or whoever, I really hope Stan Winston and his studio move on to only doing this. Like, stop doing practical effects for like little indie movies that are like, wouldn't it be cute if we used practical effects when everything?
Uy, napatay nila yung ano. Ang bilis.
Stop letting yourself be
Serpent?
talked down to by
Oh,
the culture
may mga
like
ano,
that,
ano
and
to,
just
goblin?
move on to turning beautiful celebrities into worms, because it's what we all want. It's clearly what we all want. All right, Med, comment, opinion.
What I'm saying is this is the great equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the essence of what makes someone a celebrity and says, no, you're a worm now. And it makes everyone else feel like, yeah, good. But it's so messed up. I can't look at it. It's so wrong.
It's really,
disturbing.
it's really nicely done. Like the details on like this I don't know what this is, like a molting seam running down, running down. I love. I'll stop sharing.
Malalim
But I
tayo
love
sa
how
distance,
I love how unabashed
Kaya nga eh.
realistic it is.
Nakakalito.
I love how they didn't shy away.
I
Dito
thought it was
dapat
like
eh.
a Photoshop
Dito.
thing when he first put it on the screen. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
No, that's real. That's real. And that's where I want.
May bato
that's
ba?
where I
Ano
want
ba yun? May bato
fashion
sa harap.
to go. I dream of a future where fashion is just you going full costume every day into whatever you want to embody. You want to be a worm? You be a worm, but don't just fuck around halfway with being a worm. Full special effects. Full special effects. And the only thing that's holding us back from this as a society right now is that it's not societally acceptable to walk into work like that. And I want that. I want people to be okay showing up to work as horrifying worms, turtles, some sort of nematode, maybe like a giant tick with like a blood sac or something like that. I think as soon as that is normalized, we will have reached a new plateau in culture where we really a new levels of creativity will have been introduced to the world. You have nothing to say to that. You really have nothing to say to that. The worm doesn't interest you, doesn't excite
Oo nga eh.
you. Is there any part of you that's engorged?
If you mess with
Gagi.
look. That's what you're saying.
Dapat daw lagay.
Ayaw tayong papuntahin dito. Ako, nararamdaman ko. Tatamaan tayo niyan, ah.
No,
Nararamdaman ko na.
Societal structure.
Kaya sinira yung bar.
No, I want the worm
No.
thing to be enforced by societal rules.
Oh, enforced as in everybody has to just.
Yeah, like stop being so fucking boring. Start introspecting. Find-
Tama ba dito? Diretso
What
lang.
do you think it took for Heidi Klum to get there in her head? Don't forget who she is. There's a lot of people with similar stations to Heidi Klum, right? But she's the only one commissioning horrifyingly realistic worm costume. That says something about her. I don't know her actual background, but I'll tell you what. It takes a lot to get there, even as a first step. There's no way that it's easy to get there. You've gotta make a bold choice. And I'm gonna be completely serious. I'm being totally honest here. I think it says a lot
Wala akong...
about Heidi Klum in a good way that she's willing to do that and to do those awesome costumes. I'm inspired by her.
She did it for you specifically.
She's got to be doing it for somebody. There's some niche audience of people that she thinks it's a good idea to do this for. And she does them well. She got a whole backlog of these things.
Sagwan lang yata kakasya dito eh.
I love that. I love it. I think so, yeah. Heidi Klum is my guru, dude. I'm like, if I think that's what I would do if I had Heidi Klum's money. And I'm impressed to actually see somebody doing what I would do with that amount of money. To actually go whole hog on Halloween and she's so happy. Look at that smile. I know you can't see the worm, but that horrifying this thing through the worm costume, like
Dude, it's just
she's so happy.
Oh man.
I think that's what
Part ko lang
drives me
dito, ah.
crazy about it, is that she's so happy while she's doing it.
Gusto mo gawa tayo maliit na bangka?
She is so happy. Okay, I'm looking at more photos.
Hindi
And
tayo
there is
kakasya.
some point later in the party where she removes the worm costume and is in something she can walk around in more easily, and she looks more, let's say, traditional. But she kept the face on, so
Oh, I think I saw it.
that's again, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. And I'm not gonna. Beggars can't be choosers. All right. It looks like a very uncomfortable costume to be in. Why'd you click that time?
I turned it
Bored?
No, it was going since
Oh really?
Wala eh.
Because there's a. If you
Kidlat
wanna
lang
know how
naririnig
long
ko.
until you get to stop fucking talking to me. There's a timer in the top right. It's been
Punta lang ako sa
37 minutes. You've got 23 more minutes of talking to me before you get to.
We didn't record that.
Yeah, we've been recording. Wait, no. I think that's the whole call. Maybe you're right.
Because you started the goblins.
You know what? I honestly, at this point, I don't know, and now I'm scared because now there's really no way to know. Because I was thinking this would be like an hour long. Now there's really no way to know.
You're saying A to Z that for the best podcast of one day. And it's going to be one episode. It's going to be 1 hour.
Yeah, so that's why I'm marveling at like you're not reacting to the worm thing. It's like there's a prophecy that needs to be fulfilled. Like you've got.
Ano men, tara?
It's also a reaction.
I think that's semantics, and we're gonna get bogged down arguing semantics.
Uy, gagawin, bilis
Alright,
nito.
don't worry. I'll carry it.
Bilis.
I'll carry it. All right. Next topic. Next topic.
Dala ka ilaw pre, mukhang madilim.
You ever dressed as anything good for Halloween?
Yo,
Never.
man, as a kid I was Batman, I was a Ninja Turtle, I was a regular ninja. But never anything wild. Well, which begs the question, alright, you do have there's money, etc., you're in her position of status. Your option. What is your case?
Mabangga sa mga.
Well,
Worm's been taken. You gotta do something.
Tanga atras.
unfortunately, my number one choice would have been the Xenomorph, a very realistic Xenomorph, and I think Heidi Klum already did that. Actually, she did a great Xenomorph one year, but
Hindi ka pwede umupo.
I think I would probably design my own thing. I think I would probably draw something out in a very detailed fashion. I mean, I have a set of skills, a particular set of skills that might be useful in this scenario, and I would commission someone to make that exact costume. If I had to, oh no, scratch that.
No.
elder thing from At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. So symmetrical in like 6 different directions. Just a giant vegetable, basically. Big ribbed drum body, unfolding leathery wings, tenticular extrusions, proboscis jutting from
Let's
every
go.
angle from my starfish head, all that stuff. And intricately puppeteered by a team of people in a van at behind the venue that I'm going to. So inside, I'm just like moving some wings a little bit, but there's a
Ano yun, yung
whole
pala
crew
yun
of
eh.
people
pre,
back
pre,
there
ano yan?
Kaya nga
that
eh.
are
Yung
doing
pala
the
yung
proboscis,
tumatawag mo
right? They're kind of making them look at people, and if anybody
Yung pala
gets
yung
close to me,
tumututak.
one will kind
Parang
of wiggle
utak
over
ah.
there and try to kiss them or something.
Ready.
Like that. That's
Malaking ano yan, pre? Isa.
Visit. Speedrun ko
Natutuloy ba
nga.
natin?
Gusto ko makita yung dulo, pre. Mabilis naman tong bangka eh. Kaso ang hirap control eh.
my intuitions in English. Now I gotta Google it.
Grabe, sobrang hirap. Hindi ko...
Proboscis. Yep.
Panahin ko.
Wag na, pre. Wag mo na i-ano. Mukhang isang pitikan lang tayo niyan.
Nope, it's proboscis. Or
Huwag sana lumapit sa barko.
that's actually cooler. It's not proboscis. It's proboscis.
Hindi, hindi.
I'm gonna go with proboscis. I'm gonna go with more.
Nagkukutotak din pag may nakita ng stock.
Sana hindi. Ang pulokis naman na itong barkong to. Hirap control eh.
Hangin kasi.
You with just
Baka
a
dapat
guitar,
yung rock
that's-
na rock
that's-
talaga.
That's not how
Hindi, okay naman. Okay lang siya.
Okay.
Mas mabilis kasi ito eh.
Okay. Okay.
What's the opposite?
Yeah.
The opposite. What does ego hate the most? It's what I'd be most ashamed of being public, perceived as, whatever that is.
Ah, go.
That has to be
What is it?
Uy, may nakikita akong ano, kalaban. Ay, hindi. Mga ano pala yun.
I guess you could just
Rabbits. Ano mangyayari pa pag nahulog tayo?
It's gotta be functional.
That's the extreme.
Patay agad.
But in that category,
It'd be unforgettable. It'd be unforgettable. It would
that's
be,
the point.
It would be deeply shameful, yeah.
I couldn't make eye contact.
And just getting ready for work and stuff. Actually researching a really creepy privacy breaking crypto later today. It's going to be exciting. Half of the fun of my life comes from coming home and researching the goofiest stuff on the internet, so get excited for that one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the last several days, I had this argument with like XQC. Not really an argument as much as it was like a full like body slam into discussing like, you know, the reaction stuff, right? And obviously, as we all know, there's the reaction stuff is a problem on YouTube. It's been a problem since Jinx. It's come back. It's resurfaced in the same sense that we've got like, you know, Sniper Wolf basically like downloading 15 TikToks of the day. And
Gosh.
going, wow, they jumped. Wow, oh my god, wow, wow, I cannot believe that. Somebody like falls face first into like a wood chipper, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't know humans were filled
Ano
with
kaya yung
red
ilaw na
confetti.
yun?
Wow,
Yung blue.
that's interesting. You know, somebody that could watch One Man, One Jar and be like, oh my god, I didn't know the muscles down there were so tight. You know, actually, that's putting in a lot more commentary than you would expect, okay? But anyways, Sniper Wolf, one of the most egregious people out there. And then, of course, XQC, which, you know, the internet basically, you know, turned into a lightning rod for reaction stuff. Because XQC is infamously known for, you know, watching a piece of content going, wow, oh my god, wow, amazing, this is crazy, you know, basic stuff like that, and then re-uploading the whole thing onto YouTube, cannibalizing the metadata, and you know, so on and so forth. Now, I would, out of anybody that I've ever riffed on or talked about or critiqued on the platform, he's probably had one of the worst reactions into the situation. Now, he had a debate yesterday with Ethan Klein, right, of the H3 podcast. And this debate, I was like, oh man, I knew it was going to be bad. But I didn't know it was gonna be this bad, okay? Now, this video isn't out of, like, concern, trolling, or anything. I'm not his lawyer. I'm not, like, his accountant. I'm just here to laugh. That's all I care about. So, he gets Ethan. Ethan brings him onto a debate, and they start talking about the finer points of fair use. They talk about, you know, I remember XQC brings up a point about how he has the most runtime out of any creator. So, you know, if I have 300 hours uploaded, this dude has 3,000 hours uploaded on YouTube. And I don't doubt it. If you stream like 16 hours a day and sleep every other day, obviously you're going to have the most runtime. And then he gets into like ratios of how much people have copyrighted views and what they haven't. And it becomes this entire argument from him about semantics and whatnot. When Ethan Klein is like also bodying him. XQC is
Okay,
one
wag mo
guy
kasang palin,
who
lulubog
loves to
tayo.
get bodied. Okay, he got bodied by me. A week later, he gets
Nadudurog na
bodied by
yung
Ethan
mukha ko.
Klein in this debate. Ethan basically steamrolls him and debunks
Diretso
effectively
lang.
every single one of his points. And it gets to the point where Ethan debates him so bad, he starts doing the fucking worm. Like he actually gets on the ground and starts like literally caterpillaring across the floor. Like he's like bro straight up emotes in the middle of a debate, dude. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That's like the greatest debate. The next presidential debate, if I don't see Biden or Trump or any of these guys like emoting across the ground, I'm not like that's not going to be exciting, okay? XQC inadvertently has created the greatest debate meta I've ever seen. If people don't start emoting in a debate or doing the caterpillar, they've all like it's just not an entertaining debate anymore. That's where XQC succeeds. He's one of the most watched streamers because nobody this is a big positive. Nobody else that I know is willing to do the fucking worm. But anyways, he does the worm on the debate. It gets into this entire pissing match about semantics and whatnot.
Pre, may
Honestly,
nakita ka
it
pa.
doesn't really go anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, he even gets to the point where, like, Vince
Wala akong
Vintage,
makita, gago.
like, the idea of reactors literally aping and cannibalizing viewership, calls Vince a paid actor. Like, guy has no actual argument, no nothing. So, you think that was all over for there, and then, like, it gets to the even cringier piece, okay? This is the juicier part. The juicer starts flexing on other multi-millionaires. So it's kind of known that if you're
Rendo ba to
successful,
sarado?
you probably have a good financial track record, right? Like you're doing well, okay? There's obviously going to be people
Kulang
that
daan.
you. That's just how life works. Now the thing is, unless you're like terrible with your
Anong
money,
kabila?
yeah, of course you'll be back down into the ground doing some island boys,
Weh.
crazy shit. You'll have a caterpillar in your one hand and your brother's sucking it off in the other.
Wait
Okay?
lang
It's a wild situation.
Baka
Go
nandito
follow
na yun sa
look
likod
that
eh.
up.
Tipikit.
But XQC starts flexing to this guy. Now it's wild to me that like in the few DMs that Ethan Klein like released out, which you can go check for yourself, he gets into the point where he talks about like how Ethan is bitter about money. Like, hold on, you're about to flex to a guy that has a functional marriage, you know, a big house, kids, a successful business, and you're about to flex there. Money is one of those things that I think
Bro,
brings
may
out
Black
the
Forest
reality
dito.
of people, you know? Like XQC buys this like stupid $600,000 watch that looks like it came out of Wish.com, and that's not me saying it. Shit, that's his own community, okay? And listen, I'm not one to say like, hey, don't buy a nice watch. Okay? There's
May
a
Black
difference
Forest sa
between
loob.
buying a nice watch, you know,
Tingnan mo
like
sa map.
Rolex, and then like buying a fucking $600,000 like eyesore, okay? That's
Kung
how
ulit yung
idiots
bangka natin,
part
pre.
with their fucking money. You know what I mean?
Tara.
There's this place in Beverly Hills, Rodeo. If you walk down it, it's literally shops catered to dumbasses. Like, hey, you want to come inside and buy like a $50,000 rock? Here you go, buddy. Come on in. It's literally there
Tuloy ang
for the most
expedition.
insecure types. And that's where the key word is, insecurity. Anybody, and this is not just Ethan that he's talked to, he's brought up money to me, he's brought up money to everyone. If you're the type of person to start flexing your material wealth when at the loss of a complete argument, then you, my friend, may be the most insecure person that I've ever seen in reality. And look, again, like I said, I'm not making this video out of concern. I don't even care if XQC's got like the real mental issues to go off with. If that's the thing, you could afford a therapist to work through, okay? Go do that. I'm just here to laugh at the insecurity that I'm witnessing. Nobody that I've ever talked to, nobody that I've ever critiqued on
Speedboat.
we're talking like
Speedboat.
we're talking all these characters, you know, people
Nag-fly
that
ka?
I don't
Hindi
even
ko
recall
makontrol.
were, like out there flexing stupid watches and shit across people. Especially to other individuals that he knows can clearly afford the same stupid tracks that they buy, but won't because they know the $600,000 can be spent
Nakakasuka to.
elsewhere. You know, if you were to talk about like $600,000, I'd rather spend that on my mom, dad, and my like brother and my family, my wife. Okay, like people that are important in my
Kahit
life.
diretso na
Buy them
tumutumbok pa rin.
something nice. Or, you know, do something good in the world with it, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's better than buying a fucking watch that everyone on the internet's gonna rip on me for. Like one is spend money and be made fun of. The other is spend money, but also gain like plus 10, you know, karma in the real world. Okay? Treat life like the Sims world. But yeah, I've never seen a man spiral this hard with like the creator of the fucking earth and be so insecure in the
Yan,
entire
stable
process,
na
all
konti.
because people ask you to make better content. And this is one of those things where, like, you know, it burns him, where it's like, hey, just make good content. Like, this is the same reason he got pissed with me about, too. And the thing is,
Gagi, pero
like,
parang
people can say
end
that
na
to
to,
me, too, you know, and I'll,
Tingnan mo,
I'll
parang
admit, not
mahulog
every single
tayo.
one of my videos is, like, a banger. It isn't, okay? Like, there's
Ready ka
videos
ba?
that I do to help fund other bigger projects down the road.
Ready
You know,
ka ba?
this month
Tingnan mo
I've
yung
got
map.
Shenmue 2 coming out, a video that I know not a lot of people are going to watch in comparison to this off-the-cuff video. But the way that I do it is this off-the-cuff video, the proceeds will help fund the Shenmue 2 video and offset
Parang gusto ko
the other
ma-experience.
ones. It's how business works.
Yan na,
I can
Gagi,
make
malapit
something that I
na.
enjoy. You know, a video that's like
Tignan lang
an hour and a half long that has significantly more effort
Yan lang
into it,
natin.
and I like doing
Huwag ka
it,
tumalon.
okay? Then nobody can say, oh, Moody, your content
Titigil ko
sucks.
naman eh.
I firmly believe that I
sige,
put my effort in and I
Ewan
enjoy
ko.
what I do.
Oo.
And that's where my security then
Dito
comes
ka
in.
lang.
And right
Mupo
after
ka.
this month, it's Metal Gear Solid 2. And then after that month, it's Packers. I'm kind of giving you a little schedule I'm giving you a tasting for the
Check lang
next,
natin,
couple
Gagi.
Ayun, Ashland ba yun?
we're
Tabi?
doing our first movie review, Hackers.
Saan?
I'm actually kind of
Yung
excited
dito?
for it. We're kind of trying to dodge. I'm like Neo for the Matrix, trying to dodge copyright issues for Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Okay, I don't want the fucking line to come to my house and bite my nuts off. So that's going to be a fun situation. But yeah, I've never seen such levels of insecurity from an individual. And honestly, I would say that I hope the best for XQC, but like, dog, it's on you, my homie. You gotta,
Sabi ko, mupo ka eh.
you gotta humble yourself and come back
Tara.
to planet fucking Earth, okay? Because even your fan base isn't excited about this stuff. I'm not excited about it. Nobody is. And I guess if anything, the only reason that this video is even existing is A, to just kind of give the final word on it, but also that this isn't like other.
Pre.
Nangyari.
Hindi, wala. Ang lalaki ng alod dito ah.
Nako. Lalaglag ako.
Lang. Silipin lang natin yung edge.
Pre, ba? Gamit ko, pre.
Pre, yan na.
Ang lakas.
Ayun na yung ano, endo. Tingnan mo.
Oo nga eh.
Wait lang
Kaya
nga.
nagdalag ako. Ano nangyari?
Tigil ko nga lang dito.
Kaya...
Ay, pre. Hindi ko matras.
Nangyari.
Layo nga muna kita. Ay, magtipi ka na kung ako sa'yo.
Uy,
Magtipi
pre.
ka na.
Tulong, pre. Uy, pre! Nako. Awit. Ba't
Hindi kinaya
nakita
nung
yung
bangka.
edge? Hindi ko nakita yung edge. Ano yun? Wala na rin. Ubus. Ang akin.
Hindi pre, nasa backup yun.
Okay.
May backup yung karakter mo.
Sige. Wala rin. Ubus.
Parang world din.
Ba't di nakita yung edge?
Ganun pala yun. Sumudalin ulit kita, Tot.
Sige, punta tayo dun.
Hulog kita. Ano? O gusto mo
Nakita ko
bangka?
na yun eh. Gusto ko lang sa edge eh.
Tara.
Tara.
Tara dito, taong tapo. No, gusto mo ikaw magmaneo.
Oo na.
Try mo. Try mo, pre.
Ba't ang bilis?
Speedrun.
Sinit mo ata yung bote.
Oo nga. Try mo nga. Try mo.
Anong command? Sige nga.
Wait lang.
Ay, dito pala dito.
Pag binaba mo yung sail, ang bilis eh.
Ayaw.
Ayaw, pre.
Paano ba?
Sobra.
Talikod.
Na-stuck tayo. Wait lang. Gawa tayo bago. Harap ko na nga dun. Diretso mo pre. Dito.
Ang hirap i-control.
Kaya nga eh.
Mabangga.
Kontray mo agad pag ano, pagliko.
Islam. Malikot ako. Malikot pa. Yan. Ang hirap. Saan ba tayo paharap?
Dito pre sa marker ko. Yan harap yan, goods. Umikot. Yan pre. Pag lumalaki na yung alon. Dulo na. Eh na pre, malapit na. Naku, lumiko pa. Ayan, dadalhin na tayo niyan.
Dadalhin na tayo.
O, dadalhin tayo niyan. Tangin na warak. Pwede pre, yun yung edge.
Oh, saan tayo?
Asan ka?
Pre. Nadiyatala na ako. Pre, tulong. Tulong.
Asan ka? Hindi kita makita.
Patay. Laglag na ako. Sakit yan.
Patay ka na. Oh. Walang Ashland. Hindi totoo ang Ashland.
Walang Ashland.
Oo, men.
At sira na yung barko natin.
Sure ka?
Yok lang.
Balikan ko.
Lumayo, lumayo. Ano ba tayo din? Mountain tayo, diba?
Ano no?
Next natin, mountain.
Oo, mountain.
Tagal pa.
Tabi ng Black Forest.
Namatay ako? Ba't ako namatay?
Hindi ko alam.
Um,
Hindi kita ma-recall. Ayun. Na-screenshot mo, pre.
Hindi. Pero ano ko.
Na-record mo. Sige.
Wala record.
Naku po. Hindi ko malikot.
Pasukin ko to. Ano yun? Hair.
Ayun, parang kalahi ng ano, rabbit.
Oo. Wala akong makita, men.
May item yata pantanggal niyan eh. Tingin ko.
Oo.
Or quest siguro. Naku min, na-stuck.
Stuck pa. Ayun, sa harap, oh.
Oo nga, sa harap eh. Ano ba nangyari sa gamit mo?
Hindi ko alam, men. Kinuha ni
Diyan
Lord.
nawala, ano? Ni Odin.
Oo.
Gagi, na-stuck. Ako na nga lang.
Matipi nga.
Saan?
Sa'yo.
In some instance, at the same time that he.
Maluwag naman.
Na tayo, pre. Where are we?
hindi ko maalis dito. Na-stuck yung likod tsaka yung harap eh.
Di ba natitipi yung ano? Barcode.
Wait.
O ano na to?
Wait lang.
Ano punta
Kaya to pre. Yan, konting tiis. Konting tiis. Wala bang bomba dito?
Sa ata.
Bombahin ko yung isla dun sa likod eh. Tagal eh. Sikip. Saglit nga lang. atras ko muna. Piso na lang buhay mo.
Ah, paano? Namatay ka.
Ah, namatay ka?
Oo.
Hindi ko kasi maliko rito sa banda rito eh.
Grabe na pala ng list.
Ay, naku po. Ayaw ma-adjust. Sus. Ay, mali.
Siyempre, kaya ba yan?
Binabawasan ko lang. Para hindi tumama. Nako po. May tumatama sa likod. Visit ka.
Ay,
Mano-mano eh. No?
check ko ako makuha ang gamit ko.
Ano yan? Check ko.
Hindi ako. Kunin ko.
Oh, sige. Asan ka?
Wait na ako.
May umaharang sa likod. Ano ba yun? Wala naman.